Party Time Brewing just brought up a good point. You know, like instead of throwing a batch out, there's things you can do. There's things you could do with bad batches of beer. And that's probably number one, Party Time Brewing. You could distill it.
And some of them are illegal.
Some of them are illegal-ish. More legal than others, depending what country you're in. But no, I know people that will distill it. They will distill it, and that's the best course of action because you're just getting the alcohol out of it, pulling it into a still, bringing it back, and then diluting it with water. I know some people that pour it on flowers. They'll take their beer and they'll put it in their garden. You can make...
I've done that.
You've done that?
I've dumped beer in some... Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
And the grass grew like a motherfucker. Yeah.
On my hops, even. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah. That's weird. I didn't even think about that until you mentioned that. Yeah, I've totally done that. Because you got to think about it. It's loaded with, like, vitamins.
There's a ton of... There's a ton of vitamin B. There's a ton of amino acids. Yeah. It's like the buddy that goes fishing. And when he catches a bunch of fish, there's always, like, a bunch of blood in the cooler. Well, he'll take that fish, whatever, that watery blood, and he'll pour it on his roses, and he's got the most beautiful roses anyone's ever seen before, because if you think about it, that's like the core of fish fertilizer. I mean, that's like the core of like all the fish stuff that they put in whatever. I don't really know how it works, but he's like, yeah, the best thing for my garden is the fish blood from water coolers. So that's pretty much it. I mean, you could either distill it, you could either dump it on your...
probably high in iron, I would imagine.
It's got it all, man. It's got it all. Plants love beer, especially probably
I'm curious why like fish blood in particular would be very beneficial. But I mean, yeah, you know, it has other things in it as well. But
what about this? Can you make vinegar out of beer, or does that come from shitty wine?
I don't even know, to be honest.
Can the chat help us out? Can the chat help us out? Does anybody know if you can get vinegar from bad batches of beer? Fish produce high nitrogen, man. So yeah, everything. That's the answer right there. Everything
nitrogen
that we buy
creates like great plants, without doubt. Like that's what that's when, like, you know, when plants go yellow, they're lacking nitrate. So I would assume, like, yeah, if you like spray whatever the fuck is high in nitrogen, you're gonna have a great yield.
Ben, yeah, you sure can make vinegar from beer. But yeah, it's like everything that we buy, like Health Yeast Energizer or diammonium phosphate, all this stuff stemmed from green thumbers using nitrogen in soil. So it's like that fish blood has got to be like the most potent nitrogen ever. It's like, of course, should we start doing that? Pour a bunch of fish blood like in our mash tuns?